If you're struggling to shoot on NBA 2K21 Next Gen, then make sure to watch this video the whole way through because every single tip I give is key.
Growing up and hit this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic.
Okay, so the only tip that you really need is to go online or in-store, buy a Zen, like, comment, and subscribe, and imagine that was the secret sauce that people were using to shoot lights out on Next Gen. I mean, as far as I know, that was only a current gen issue. Now, I know that I'm still a pro too, but that's because I haven't played Park since the Renaissance. I mean, let's be honest, who the hell has? Regardless of the lack of Park games that I've played, do not doubt these shooting tips because they'll still help out a ton, I guarantee it. Now let me prove real quick that I'm a deadeye in the Park. Okay, we're at my 2K card and take a look at that.
Bro, you're literally
dog water.
Okay, hear me out. The only reason I shoot 45% from the 3-point line and 49% from the field is because in the beginning of Next Gen, I played Park against 6'7" sweaty no lives with max badges. Meanwhile, I have like 4 badges playing with randoms as a point guard, and anything that's not 6'7" is basically non-existent this year. Hopefully that clears things up, but if you still think that I'm trash, then let's be honest, you are too. That's why you're watching this video. Now the very first tip that I'm gonna give is to go to your options, controller settings, and to turn your shot meter off. Yes, I know that's what everyone says, but we have to start with the basic tips just to make sure everyone is good to go and that the foundation of shooting is laid out for people who are complete noobs to 2K. With the shot meter turned off, Mr. Beluba Whale on Twitter already confirmed that you get a significant jump shot boost just like current gen, so it's already beneficial because in my opinion, everything just becomes easier to time anyway with the meter off. Let's face it, the jump shot meter is horrendous in 2K21. I mean, take a look at current gen and take a look at next gen. They really thought that size matters.
You know what I mean?
Now with your shot meter off, there's a key thing that a lot of you people have to notice about shooting in next gen 2K21, and that is that the farther you shoot from the basket, the slower your release will be. I think this is why so many people think it's harder to time shots with the meter off because they get thrown off by the speed whenever they shoot from different spots on the court. This leads to my next tip, which is to have a good jump shot equipped, and by that I mean something with a smooth base and a quick release. If you don't know where to start, Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose are proven from NBA 2K Lab to have very consistent green windows, so mash those bases with some releases that you like and see how it pans out. Now right here you guys could see me shooting around on the Mamba court, and the left side is me shooting with what I like to call a bumpy base and a slower release speed, and then the right side is me shooting with a smooth base and a quick enough release speed equipped. The reason I said quick enough is because I made it a tick lower than the max speed, because like I said, you gotta be comfortable when you shoot. On the left side, you can see I was shooting less greens due to the timings being very inconsistent and the base being hard to time, whereas on the right side, everything was flowing easier for me. And it was almost effortless because of how clean the base was on the right side. The speed also affects the contest that you get, so I would recommend one tick lower or max speed so defenders have way less time to contest the shot. And while we're on the topic of jumpers, my third tip is when learning the timing for your jumper, you should be practicing in shoot around and looking for a cue so you know when to let go of the square button or whatever you use to shoot. The cue generally tends to be indicated by the feet and when they come off the floor, or the hands and when your player flicks his wrist. Now please, I don't mean staring at the screen and looking for a cue in game, but glancing at it, so shooting with no meter becomes second nature to you. With practice, it will become easier and more comfortable. All you have to do is learn your timings in different areas of the court while shooting different types of jumpers, and you'll start getting greens, I promise. By now, you should understand the basics of how to choose a jumper and generally how to time it consistently. Now I'm gonna dive into more important shooting tips, including what attributes you need, what badges to equip, shot selection, etc. If you want to be a decent shooter, then you at least need to have a 75 or an 83 ball to green consistently. If you have lower than that and you have no problems, then you're just built different, but most likely you're not because you're watching this video, so stay tuned. I swear 2K went crazy with how badly they penalize you for having an average 3-pointer this time around. And don't get me wrong, that's a good thing, but let it be a warning to you people that want to be shooters but don't put the attributes in. If you want to be a sniper on the court, then we're talking in the 90s range, and just in general, I'd give my player close to a 90 plus in shooting anyway if you want to be really cheesy. Speaking of cheesy, I heard that the fadeaway jumpers are OP as hell in this game from what I've seen on Twitter. So if I were you guys, I would use that to the full advantage, especially in the park. Fadeaways are usually easier to time than regular jumpers anyway, so depending on your situation on offense and the circumstances on the court, just shoot the most open shot available. By the way, I recommend Kevin Durant's fade for when you shoot fades because it's smooth and it has a little bounce to it, which makes the release cue easier to identify. I can't even count how many times I've seen people miss shots, complain that the game is bad, and then not realize it was because of the poor shot selection. And don't get me wrong, the game is bad. But like seriously, it's not hard. Just shoot when the defender isn't close to you, and if you know your timing, you'll have a good chance of making it. Now I get it, sometimes 2K cheeses you or the defender has OP defensive badges and you get 40% contested a lot of the time. Well, here are some shooting badges that you should equip to help out with that problem. Depending on the amount of shooting badges that you get, you're gonna want to revise and maybe make a couple of your badges gold or silver to balance things out, and you might have to leave certain badges out that are on the screen right now, or even replace them with badges that are better suited for your build. When it comes down to shooting, the badges are nice perks, yeah, but they won't bail you out. Proper shot timing and good shot selection will. Honestly, the badges just optimize your player's consistency, but in next gen NBA 2K21, in my opinion, attributes matter more over the badges this time around. Now a quick explanation of why these are the best badges to equip. Most of these reduce the contest that affects your player, and that will lead to you being more confident when you shoot the ball in game, and you'll be able to shoot more effectively because the contest will be lower. For example, both Deadeye and Blinders reduce the contest on your jump shot from defenders who close out, and when you combine both of these, you'll pretty much be allowed to shoot greens with very little space and good timing, of course. That's why I emphasize the basics of mastering your shot cues for different types of jumpers in different areas, because you'll become absolutely deadly when you put badges on top of those skills. All these other badges like Green Machine, Stop and Pop, Hot Zone Hunter, and Deep Threes are pretty much self-explanatory, but it depends on the type of build that you're using, because if you're a spot up shooter, then obviously it doesn't make sense to have Stop and Pop on because you don't dribble. Instead, you'll want something like Catch and Shoot and Corner Specialist instead. Alright, so now with all this insightful knowledge about shooting that you guys acquired from this video, we're gonna be seeing Ticino clones on the court. Let's face it, all you scrubs watching this won't even be a fraction of how good he is. We're not done yet, there's still something very important to take away from this video, so just to recap. You guys learned the concept behind turning off your shot meter, how to actually shoot with the meter off, how to create a smoother jump shot, what attributes you need to shoot consistently, the importance of shot selection, and what badges you should equip. Combine all of this info and start applying it in game, you guys are gonna be goated. Not only because of all those green beams on the court, but because you guys are gonna get hotspots. Now I'm gonna keep it simple. Hotspots along with the Hot Zone Hunter badge and the fact that they brought back the pure green window means you're basically not gonna miss if you know your timing, which is why it's important that you didn't skip parts of this video, because those simple shooting tips that I gave at the beginning are the foundation of what it takes to be a good shooter in this game. Hotspots, plus a good jumper, plus meter off, plus shot IQ, plus the right badges, plus a decent enough or high 3-point rating is gonna lead you right back to the 2010 Kids Choice Awards with all the green you're gonna be seeing. If you didn't feel nostalgic on that, you're just plain a weirdo or too young. I would include jump shot or skill boost as a tip, but that's only if you're
a giant pussy.
That'll be it for this shooting tips video. Appreciate those who made it to the end. Drop a like if it was helpful to you guys, comment any questions that you got, and don't forget to subscribe with post noties on for more fire content in the future. As always, stay blessed. Okay, jump shot boost for 90 games. I'm about to be a demon now. Oh nah, y'all call me in 4K.